Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than the meta. So guys, I want to go ahead and show some gameplay. Once again, this is when the new season kicked off, and there's a bug in the system. I should have a different playbook. It should be the Tennessee Titans as my playbook, which is more of a 34 defense. And for some particular reason, it was defaulting to the team that I actually selected, which is the Houston Texans. So I was scrambling to try to find myself a defensive scheme. At least some of the audibles were actually set up on the over defense, and I ran into an opponent that does this. Hey guys, if you are new to my channel, if you do like these video breakdowns, I do have basically ebooks on how I run my offenses, and you actually will see me highlighting the Green Bay Packers in this offense, which is a scheme that I built out before. So make sure you check that out if you guys are looking for ways to be effective on your offense. I'll post that video a little bit later, but I'm going to show you how I run my defense against an opponent. So usually when I set up my defense, once again, I always do baseline as my adjustment, and I do conservative for options, strip balls, and basically the tackling, because I don't really want to get myself in any kind of a situation. And I decided to come out of basically the over defense, nickel over defense, because it's a defense I ran a lot last year. And I'm usually going to use the cover 6 as my base defense. Just checking my stuff, just seeing if I make sure my audible's all set up, and that was one thing that carried over with the new season. So just waiting for this guy to actually select his play. And this is a formation I think he used a lot. Basically it was the gun doubles formation. Flex Y off close. You'll see me pretty much box this guy up a little bit later on in the game. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to bunch these guys up, making it difficult for his offensive line to do that, and I rotate my guys over. You could take the linebackers and rotate and basically bunch them up. That way you have better run fits. But the reason I rotated these guys over is I just want to have another defender out here in case he's got some type of a counter in his playbook. I don't know for sure. I don't think this particular play does, but you could see this guy actually did make some type of adjustment. I get on my middle linebacker, and he does basically like a kind of a fake reverse type situation, and right there I'm able to go ahead and tackle him for basically 8 yards, so that kind of works out for me. So I'm going to stay on the 3-rec hook guy, and I actually shift the line off this side because he's actually showing me he's going to try to run that. I rotate the other guy over so there is any kind of stuff, and you can see he actually hits the flat right here, and it actually picks us a nice little juke move and picks up a first down. So now I know he's going to settle for flat routes, so I have to take that into consideration. I'm going to go ahead and bunch these guys up, and this is my adjustment. I push these guys down. I got a flat over here. I'm always worried about that wide receiver actually hitting me deep. So one of the things I'll do is I'll put this guy into a third so he releases a lot better and gets back in coverage. And you could see that this guy is kind of over the top. My responsibility is to play the middle of the field, and actually throws a corner out with a flat concept. So basically he's got his flat, he's got a corner over the top, and he's got a streak to clear out the zone. And because this guy was pressed down, he can't recover to get to this corner route, and this guy's matching, but he's out of position. I'm completely out of position. He's able to go ahead and lob the ball right over the middle of the field. So this guy knows how to hit, basically a flood concept with a corner route. He gets the ball down. I tackle him just shy of the touchdown area right there with cover 6. So I'll have to make an adjustment on that. But he used a simple sail concept, quick snapped it, and he was able to pick that up. So now I go ahead and jump into basically the 40 or the 61 defense, and I want to have these guys basically coming down and playing run fits. I want everybody playing run fits, and I'm going to give up the back corner pylon of the end zone against this guy because I'm assuming he might want to try to run the ball in. So you can see I shift the line off to the strength of the formation so he can't get leverage against me. He's going to lose a blocker, and I'm going to basically have extra guys to be able to do this. And my job is to stretch wide and force him to cut back in. If he cuts back in, these guys are going to be free to actually come and get him. So that's the adjustment I've got for defense for run. And basically I'm going to go ahead and go to the outside. You can see he actually goes to the outside. He's got the fullback does not pick me up. I undercut that. That was a huge non-block. And I put him in a situation where he loses some yardage. He gets into 7 yards out. So that actually got him behind the 8 ball. Once again, I'm going to rotate my guys over. I'm going to tempt him to run this way, but I've got these guys rotated over, so I've got basically 2 guys are not going to get blocked. I've got 5 guys right here, and he's not going to have any kind of positioning against my defensive line. And once again, I'm going to put these guys into flats so they can tack the run. So if this guy actually does try to run the ball, my responsibility is to get to the outside. I'll see if he actually tries to throw the ball, but he does. He actually takes the bait. He goes to the outside, but you could see basically my defensive line basically chews him up and tackles him for another yard loss. So now he's a 3rd and 8 situation. He's a little bit further out, and what I do is I just go into all-out coverage. I've got flats, and I've got thirds on the backside, so he can't hit me in the corners. And I'm essentially tempting him to go ahead and go over the middle of the field. So he does some type of reverse play, and I've got leverage with the defensive end. And as a result, I actually get him a situation where he has to settle for 3. So once again, that's winning. The guy had a huge play, got the ball down to the end zone. But because I was able to go and tackle him short and basically bottom up his run, he has no way to plug the ball in. I'm up basically 14-3. So 59 seconds left against this guy. He goes into I form, Y off close with basically 2 minutes left. I'm basically going to go ahead and close up my line a little bit. He actually re-audibles and switches things up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and try to go ahead and take away the run. He gets a nice run right off the middle of the field. Actually got picked up by his lead blocker. But I do have a run fit out there. And because he burned up all of his timeouts at the end of the game, he's forced to go ahead and do a situation where he basically has to go ahead and spike the ball to try to save some time to move the ball against me. Now he was a run first person because he's in these formations with basically 42 seconds left, and I'm not really too concerned about that. So I'll go ahead and do a QB contain with the expectation that he's going to try to maybe run with the ball. He goes ahead and switches into a twins formation, and I'm going to go underneath, and he tries to go ahead and hit me with a crosser, but he settles down for the flat, and it basically gets the ball into the end zone right there, so that actually kind of sucked for him. Now he goes into basically, this, twins formation where he's got these guys over here. He motions this guy out. And I think he's just using a very common play. This is a very popular play. My responsibility is to look for the 3rd wide receiver that's going over the middle of the field. And I've got matching principles, but take a look. He's a similar situation. Because I've got cover 4 quarters, this corner out that he hit earlier basically got covered up. He's got nowhere to go with the ball. And I've got this double team off the side. I think what I did is I did drop a zone flat out here. And I'm basically trying to defend against any kind of like over-the-top pass. And as a result, I actually go ahead and bottle him up, get him into a 4th and 6. The guy decides to go ahead and use this bunch nasty against me. And I'm just going to go in and just hit this guy with a mid-blitz. Haven't shown it to him the entire game. 4th down situations. I want to go and show pressure. And he doesn't know. He doesn't know whether this is going to be man coverage. He doesn't know whether this is going to be zone coverage. He really can't tell. That's why it's good to save mid-blitzes into 4th down situations or critical situations in the game and not use this as your primary scheme, because now he has to kind of read that. Right here, I'm actually mugging. I know that one of these guys are going to get in. My responsibility is to clean up right here off to the strong side of the formation, and he freezes a little bit because my user's in that area. I'm able to go ahead and hit him and go up by 17-3 against this guy. So now he goes ahead and jumps into I form, and he's got his tight end, so he's got this play particularly flipped. I'm flipping my guys over, and I'm trying to go ahead and motion this guy over my other safety. I'm worried about this guy being set up, so I think what I was doing, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I have to man this guy up just to make sure that I have somebody that's going to follow that guy. He doesn't hit me in the seam. Motion my line over to go ahead and take away the strength of formation. So if he tries to do an off tackle run, I've got more guys with leverage, so he can't do the outside. He does do the off tackle run, and because of that leverage, he really only picks up 2 yards opposed to more because his blocking's not there. So I form once again is a close formation. He's off the line of scrimmage, and I think he switches into a different play. and I'm actually trying to set things up. I've got this guy megged up, and because he's got a twins formation over here, and that's kind of my responsibility to jump out of the play, now I'm actually shifting my guys over. So if he tries to run this play, I've got this set up, and I'm actually trying to make some adjustments with it because he quick audibled into me. I'm pulling my guy down, and right here actually get into running lanes right there in that type of situation, get him into a 3rd and 5. So this guy's, you know, committed to the run. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now I actually go ahead and pull this guy down. I want to go ahead and get him down closer to the box in case he runs, and I get on the wrong defender. I'm on this guy over here that you can't see in the screen because I was clicking around, and this guy actually sees me out of position. He's got a streak over the top. He just lobs the ball right up. My safety is out of position too because I pulled him down, and he's able to go and hit me for a touchdown. So not because I didn't have a bad defense, I just got myself clicked onto the wrong guy, and I wasn't able to recover. So I don't really, you know, when you give up touchdowns like that, that's not a huge deal defensively. It's just one of those situations where it's just like, okay, he just got me in the wrong defense, and he exposed me. So that's all right. You know, basically 2 minutes and 12 seconds left. I'm up by 2 scores. He's in a situation where he has got to score quickly. So I'm going in quarters. You know, I got a basically quarters defense set up against this guy, and I want to see what he actually does with this coverage. And basically I've got spy out there in case if he tries to scramble out. I'm going to play that 3-rec hook, and he goes with this route was wide open. He completely missed that. He's trying to go ahead and hit the guy over the middle of the field, so he just made a bad decision, and as a result, he throws into 3 wide receivers. He completely missed it, and I'm able to go ahead and pick 6 this guy, or actually get the ball down to the end zone in that type of situation. So I ended up winning the game. I just chewed out the clock against him. He actually had pretty stout defense down in the end zone, but those are the adjustments I do with my cover 6. In my cover 6 and basically match coverage and quarters. I'm finding quarters defense is dramatically better than it has in the past, and it should be a defense you guys should use, especially if you have guys that use flood concepts where they do, you know, street corner flat against you. That will lock that up and take away the reads. So once again, guys, thanks for your support. If you do like these type of videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll be posting more videos for you guys to take a look at.